Hi, welcome to another video in the series around installing and configuring the ingestion monitoring software. I mentioned, or most of the other videos have been about installing or configuring the application on a server that's got the majority of the idle or control point components installed. This video is about if you want to install the application on a server that has very few or zero control point or idle components. So let me just show you what we have installed on this server, because I think we mainly only have the connectors, so the connector and connector framework, nothing else basically. So there's no real access directly to the idle or control point systems. So if we scroll down, I think I've passed them already. Yeah. So we have on here Exchange, connector framework, OneDrive, SharePoint, and the file system connector. But we don't have access, for example, to the to the idle component. Okay. The way the software works, it doesn't look for individual connectors because that can be very hit or miss, especially if we don't call them by standard ports or names. So we actually go and find out where those components are centrally from idle. So what happens if you want to install the software on a server that, say, has very few or doesn't have any control point or idle services? Well, perform the standard installation as we did previously. And again, at this stage, you'll see the standard messages that the code is actually signed. We'll start the install, it will add the relevant icons and then run the application. And when we run the application this time, it will basically it will come up with an error message, or not error message, come up with a message saying no control point connectors found, continuing with framework only. So I'm going to press OK. There aren't any frameworks, so we haven't configured anything at the moment, hence why the screen is completely empty. As opposed to before, where we automatically discovered all the connectors. So what do we need to do? I mentioned there was one additional stage. So go into configuration, and we need to tell the system, I'm just going to maximize the screen, where the distributed connector resides. So using the bottom box for the idle components, we need to tell it the server name, where in this case, drop down what we're going to look for, the distributed connector, and the port of the distributed connector is 7000. Okay, so we're basically just telling the application monitoring software where to look for the distributed connector on. Okay, this is on a different server than the one we're on at the moment. We're going to add, after doing some validation that we've actually entered a valid and correct server and port number, and then I'm going to shut down the application to just restart from scratch. Okay, I'm going to use the icon. At this time now, we're back to where we were previously. We've automatically gone out, we've done an inquiry, we've discovered where all the connectors are, and we've gone and set those up, and we've started to poll those for information as previously. So in effect, we're exactly where we were previously. The next stage would be to configure the frameworks, configure the content engines, and the services. So that really just shows you the additional stage or additional step that's required for us to basically understand or to discover where all the connectors are and on what servers those connectors have been deployed to. So I hope you found that useful, and please watch the other videos, and if you need anything from us, feel free to drop me or one of my colleagues an email on the address at the top of the screen, and we'll be delighted to help you with any problems or any modifications that you think might be useful. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.